Welcome to Miranda's Insights number 1, India. And today's topic is called Heartache Needs to be Felt, Not Analyzed. So I arrived in Delhi, India a few days ago, and yesterday I arrived in Rajasthan, Jaipur, and now I am sitting on the roof of the hotel that I am staying in, and tomorrow I'll be going off to a Vipassana retreat for 10 days. And so today I wanted to talk about, I had an insight while I was speaking to a few people who have been, I just happened to be talking to people who are going through heartache or a grief or a loss of something. And I had a few insights around this, and it's about how to be a friend, how to be someone who can actually support them in their processing of grief. And as you may have heard, there are many stages in grief, and sometimes it takes years to get over a loss that a person has. And our job as a friend is really just to hold space and to encourage their feelings to come forth, because a person can only feel one feeling at a time. And in order for grief to get healed, we actually need to feel our feelings. And it's very different than how we would like to be as a friend. Usually we like to give them a little advice and hope that that little advice will change their life or something. But giving advice when it comes to heartache will not work. The only thing that will work when it comes to heartache is to support them and to draw out those feelings and to be completely present for them. And as a friend, it's really important to not be afraid of feelings. If you yourself haven't gone through a process of grieving, you may not be able to relate to some of the feelings that a person has. So you want to be really brave and just be like an anchor, or established in a state of like whatever that person is going to express or feel, that you are totally welcoming it and you're strong enough to be able to receive it, so they don't get a vibration from you that you're afraid of their feelings, because they might be afraid of their feelings. And what happens to people who are going through grief, because they haven't been able to process it, there's a resistance from the outside that don't show me your sad feelings, because they're afraid of them. So I came up with a set of questions that you can ask your friend or engage your friend into talking and getting those feelings to the forefront, so that they can pass through those stages of grief. So as you know, there's no quick remedy for grief. So you're going to help them process it. And the other thing I want to mention is that whatever they're feeling, it's never wrong. So if they have a feeling, whatever it is, it's correct. It's the right feeling they should have. And whatever their thoughts are, they're never wrong. And if you can see that they're attached to something, and you might see, well, that's why you've got this problem. Well, you can't tell them that they shouldn't be attached. They are. They're in that state. And whatever it is, it's totally right, because their soul needs to process. So we all get attached to things and people, and we need to honor that state of relationship that we've had. So that's what you want to be as a friend, is someone that is encouraging them to honor their relationship to the best that they can. And most people feel that they don't want to move on in their life because they would be dishonoring the friend that they've lost. So you want to help them process everything so that they can move on and carry their friend with them, not that they should leave their friend behind. So that's an important thing to remember. So here are some of the questions. Get a pen and paper and you can write them down. So the first one is you want to understand them. So draw them out, and here's a question you can ask them, and you sit there and you listen and totally receive them. They want to be understood. Tell me what happened and what it is that you have lost. The second question is, tell me what you don't understand about what happened. So they can talk on those two questions. Now, people have guilt, and generally if they have lost someone in their life, they feel that they're responsible for having that person disappear or gone. Maybe they contributed to the reason why they left, or they didn't take care of them enough, or they didn't do something right. So people walk around with a lot of guilty feelings, and you and I know that there's a lot of things that contribute to a person's change, or a change in a person's life, or why they leave. So it's not fully a personal thing, and it's not totally the responsibility of one person. But you have to hear them out. They need to process their guilt feelings, and once they say it, it'll be released and they won't have it as a hang-up anymore. So there's 3 instructions for this one. Tell me what you regret or that you feel responsible for. The second question is, tell me what you did that you think you shouldn't have done. And the third one is, tell me what you didn't do that you think you should have done. Betrayal is the question that will come up if maybe it's not guilt, maybe they feel betrayed. Maybe they feel betrayed because the person left them, or somebody else betrayed them. So the question for that one is, tell me how you feel betrayed. If they're feeling misunderstood by other people, and that can happen, that other people not understanding them can stunt their processing. So here's a question for if they feel understood. Tell me what others are not getting about you in your stage of grief. The next one is denial. That's actually one of the first stages of the famous 5 stages of grief. Denial. When it's always a shock when a person leaves and is no longer there in our life. So you want to give them a question for that. There's actually 2 questions. Tell me what you cannot accept. And the second question to that is, tell me what you hope will or could come true. After denial, the first, the next stage of grief is anger. So you want to feel really strong to be able to receive another person's anger. So the question is, tell me who you are angry with and why. The second part is, if you could speak to that person that you're angry with, what would you say to them? So now you have to be able to be strong enough to receive their anger. Don't get upset or resist. Just like fully get into receiving, and as you receive, you're drawing out their anger, and then they will feel that they've been heard and received. The next one is bargaining. Tell me what you want. Tell me how you want things to be. And the next after that is, tell me what you are willing to do to make things return to how you want them to be. After bargaining, is depression. Here's a question. Tell me what it is like to not have this person in your life right now. Because the person is in depression, sometimes it takes a year or two for a person to process. So you want to be their friend, so you're inviting them. So what is it like to not have this person in your life? And the last one is acceptance. Tell me something that you can accept in this stage of grief. And the very last one is, it's very powerful to get to a stage of acceptance. But in order to really accept, you have to know that they will want to take their loved one with them and keep them in their heart on a spiritual level. So the last instruction is, tell me something you can do that you can honor your loved one as you move forward in life. Okay, so I want to thank you for joining me today in today's video here in India, Rajasthan. And heartache needs to be felt, not analyzed. And I'm going to go to a retreat for the next 10 days, and after that I'll be back and I'll give you a little insight or revelation about my retreat time. So see you in the next video. Bye for now.